Rome didn't conquer the world with numbers. It conquered it with discipline, fear, and steel. The Roman army was not born as the strongest force in the ancient world. In its earliest days, Rome struggled to survive among rival tribes, powerful neighbors, and constant invasions. Every defeat forced the Romans to observe, copy, and improve upon their enemies. They adopted weapons, formations, and strategies from those they fought, refining them into something uniquely Roman. Over time, warfare became a system rather than an act of bravery. Soldiers stopped being temporary farmers and became long-term professionals. This transformation laid the foundation for an army built not on glory, but on discipline, adaptability, and relentless learning. Roman military training was intentionally harsh, designed to break weakness before the battlefield could. Recruits marched vast distances while carrying heavy equipment, often under extreme heat or cold. They trained daily with wooden swords and shields heavier than real weapons, making actual combat feel lighter by comparison. Discipline was absolute, and punishment for failure could be brutal. Obedience mattered more than personal strength or courage. Through repetition and exhaustion, soldiers learned to move as one unit, not as individuals. By the time Roman soldiers faced real enemies, fear had already been replaced with routine. War felt familiar, almost mechanical. The Roman legion was a masterpiece of organization. Each legion consisted of thousands of soldiers divided into smaller, manageable units with clear chains of command. Orders moved quickly, allowing the army to react efficiently under pressure. At the heart of this system were centurions, experienced officers who enforced discipline and led from the front. Promotion was based on experience and performance rather than noble birth, creating loyalty to the system instead of individuals. Even if generals fell, the legion continued to function. Rome understood that victory depended not on heroes, but on structure, coordination, and control. Roman weapons were designed for practicality, not spectacle. The gladius, a short stabbing sword, was perfect for close combat within tight formations. The pilum, a heavy throwing spear, was engineered to bend on impact, rendering enemy shields useless. Roman shields were large and curved, allowing soldiers to protect themselves while working together. Every piece of equipment complemented Roman tactics, turning individual fighters into parts of a larger system. Rome did not seek fair or honorable duels. It sought efficiency, speed, and overwhelming advantage. Their weapons were tools of control, not symbols of heroism. Roman formations were terrifying in their precision. Soldiers trained endlessly to maintain order under the worst conditions imaginable. One of the most famous formations, the testudo, transformed soldiers into a moving wall of shields, nearly immune to arrows and projectiles. In open battle, Roman lines rotated fresh troops forward, maintaining constant pressure while exhausting the enemy. Retreats were controlled and deliberate, preventing chaos. Most ancient armies collapsed when formations broke. Roman armies thrived because their strength came from unity, not emotion. Facing a Roman formation felt less like fighting men and more like resisting an unstoppable force. Rome understood that fear could win battles before swords ever clashed. The sound of marching legions, the blast of war horns, and the sight of disciplined formations created psychological terror. Punishments were public and extreme, designed to discourage rebellion. Entire cities were destroyed as warnings to others. Mercy, when given, was calculated and strategic. Enemies learned that resistance brought annihilation. Even Rome's allies feared its power. This psychological dominance allowed Rome to expand rapidly, often defeating opponents mentally before physical combat began. Fear became one of Rome's most powerful weapons. Roman battles were fast, violent, and unforgiving. Once combat began, there was little room to flee or recover. Soldiers fought at close range, using shields to shove and swords to strike with brutal efficiency. Orders were shouted through chaos, and hesitation could mean death. Victory mattered more than compassion. Retreat without command was punished severely. Rome accepted losses but demanded results. Cities that resisted were often destroyed completely, ensuring future obedience. War was not romanticized, it was policy. The Roman army existed to enforce order, regardless of the human cost involved. A Roman soldier's life extended far beyond the battlefield. Between campaigns, soldiers built roads, forts, and cities that strengthened the empire's control. They enforced laws, guarded borders, and maintained order. Service was long and demanding, with strict discipline and modest pay. However, retirement promised land, wealth, and Roman citizenship. For many poor men, the army offered opportunity otherwise impossible. Loyalty was rewarded, but freedom was sacrificed. A Roman soldier belonged to the empire entirely, expected to obey without question until service ended or death arrived. Rome dominated not because it was the strongest, but because it adapted faster than anyone else. When tactics failed, they changed them. When enemies learned Roman methods, Rome evolved again. Leadership could change, but the military system endured. Training, discipline, and structure allowed Rome to recover from disasters that would destroy other civilizations. The army was more than a fighting force, it was an institution capable of rebuilding itself endlessly. This ability to learn from failure allowed Rome to outlast stronger opponents and expand across continents, securing dominance for centuries. Eventually, even Rome's military system began to weaken. Discipline declined, loyalty fractured, and external pressures grew stronger. The legions that once adapted faster than all others began to fall behind. Yet the Roman army never truly disappeared. Its structure, discipline, and tactics influenced future armies across Europe and beyond. Modern military organization still carries Roman principles at its core. Rome may have fallen, but its way of war survived. The Roman army did not just conquer territory, it reshaped how humanity understands warfare itself.
Subscribe to uncover more forgotten truths of history.